Welcome to this week's version of Nickels and Dimes, our weekly video series. Well, I hope everyone had a fantastic Christmas and a wonderful Hanukkah and whatever other holiday you celebrate. So today we're going to talk a little bit about what is potentially going to happen to the equity markets in 2025. Certainly we've had a couple terrific years in 23 and 24. So let's jump in and explore the 2025 stock market outlook. And so as you know, the S&P the last couple of years has really had a nice run. Last year, the market was up. That specifically is the S&P 500 was up just over 24%. And it looks like year to date in 2024, we're going to close out hovering around another positive return around 25%. And what has happened in the past is the S&P, when it has generated two successive years of 20% or more gains, which has happened just 8 times, in year 3, some strong returns. So what happens after 2 strong years if you look at history? Odds favor we're going to have a positive year next year simply by looking at the past. In fact, when the market has 2 strong years, the market the following year is up 60% of the time with a reasonable gain in as much as 19.75%. So odds favor we're going to have more upside next year. Now, that doesn't mean this is an absolute. Again, the past oftentimes equals the future, or as it is said, history tends to repeat itself, and it often rhymes. So the trend is your friend, as they say, until the end. So odds favor, again, unless we have what is known as a black swan event, which is an event that no one can predict, odds favor the markets continue to head higher. Now, I know, again, there's a lot of positive headlines, there's a lot of negative headlines, but what has driven stock prices up the last couple of years, as we all know, much of the advancement is driven by a theme recently, meaning over the last couple of years, it's been artificial intelligence, with a lot of big tech companies leading in the forefront there. We've had an economic recovery since COVID, since the 2020 challenges and so forth. We have expanding corporate profits. Now, traditionally speaking, when corporations are highly profitable, or at least they're expanding their profit margins, that's good for stock prices. And interest rate cuts recently, the market has really liked it. More S&P gains to come. You might recall, this is the dot-com era. The market delivered a record 5 years in a row of 20% or more gains. Now note, I'm not saying that's going to happen, but this is certainly possible. We've seen it in the past, as we know. Bull markets often last longer than you think, and the economy continues to surprise to the upside. Many folks thought we were going to have a recession even last year. This has not happened, at least as of yet. Improving economic backdrop, rising corporate profitability, as mentioned, and folks are feeling quite optimistic. So let's look at some predictions from some experts. Deutsche Bank recently increased its 2025 year-end target for the S&P 500 to 7,000. Note, it's around 6,000 right now, and that means that could potentially see a gain of around 16%. Yardeni Research is expecting the market to reach 7,000 next year, and you can see they are quite bullish, with the S&P 500, at least in their mind, reaching 10,000 by the end of the decade. And if they're right, that means a gain of around 64%. So clearly they feel like we're going to have another 5-year-long bull run. In Oppenheimer, they're also bullish, predicting a target S&P 500 run of 7,100. Now, keep in mind that what's important is for you to be focused on your plan. I'll talk about that in a minute. The available evidence suggests that 2025 could be a good year for investors, but nothing is for certain, as Benjamin Franklin said, except death and taxes. I want to remind you, folks are bullish, people are feeling good. The markets look like they want to continue to head higher. It looks like the Santa Claus rally, which is the time period between around Christmas time to the end of the year, might have more upside, again, if the trend is certainly our friend, if that continues. But I want to stress what is very important. You absolutely must have a few things here. You must have clarity on what your goals are. If you don't know what they are, sit down and go through a list of things that you want to accomplish in your life. Maybe you want to retire early. Maybe you want to Buy a second home, whatever it is your goals, get clarity on what they are. Number two, and understand what your risk tolerance is, with 1 being money in savings account and 10 being money, for example, in a high-flying technology stock. Where are you on that risk scale? No right or wrong here. Number three, growth and protection strategy. You must have, in our opinion, a strategy to earn money to offset inflation and taxes. And you also must have a strategy to protect your portfolio from bad markets, because as you know, we are going to have a bad market at some point. It's just a matter of time. And number four, your family index number, the rate of return that you need to earn now and in the future to live the ideal life you want. Again, that's your family index number. Some folks have no idea what that is. So you can accomplish this with financial planning software, or maybe if you're good enough with an Excel spreadsheet, certainly you could understand what that number is. All that to say is don't lose focus on your goals. Go through this list. You must have, in our opinion, all of these checked off to help you live an ideal retirement and, of course, ideal life. All that to say is if you found value in this video, if you like this video, if you get it on social media, Facebook or LinkedIn, go ahead and share it. Or if you get it in an email, go ahead and forward to a friend. To that end, if you would like a second opinion on your portfolio or financial situation, this is our website at nicholswealth.com. Go on our website and click on this Request an Appointment tab, fill out the information, and one of our advisors will reach out to you and answer your questions and give you some clarity on today's very, very good financial market. And hopefully we can help you get clarity and put together a plan for you. Thanks again for watching. Bye-bye.